Hi everybody, welcome to Stack Days, day number 5. Today we'll be looking at majority element, continuing the Top Interview 150 series. So let's see, this is an easy problem. I went ahead and read it. I have not tried to solve it yet, but I think this will be a pretty easy one for us here. Given an array nums of size n, return the majority element. The majority element is the element that appears more than n divided by 2 times. You may assume that the majority element always exists in the array, so that makes that just makes this a lot easier. N is num's length. These are constraints. Okay, so I think one way you could go about doing this is let's just assume here for a second that we just have ones and zeros in the array, which is what it shows in the test cases. It's just 2 numbers, but it looks like you could have, a 5 or a 6 or whatever else in here. So one thing you could do is you could create a hash map and loop through and go, here's our key and then value, and then just kind of increment through, and you'd end with 0, 4, 1. Oh well, bad example, this one doesn't have a majority. 0, 5, and then 1, 4, and then you could check which one has the larger value for its key. I think kind of gives you a hint that there's going to be an easier solution though, because it says can you follow the problem in linear time in O of 1 space. So I think one thing you could do is you could keep track of let's call it cur and count, and as you go through, say cur is 0, count is 1, increment cur is 0, count is 2. Since this is not equal to cur, we would, so count would have been 2 there. We hit the 1, we'll decrement count to be 1, hit another 1, decrement again. Since count is now 0, we'll change cur to be 1 and count to be 1, and then we'll increment, count will be 4, and then, actually no, sorry. Count would be, what would it be? Count would be 2, and then as we go through, count would be 1, count would be 0, and then at the end we'd be setting cur and count. But, excuse me, I think that is, yeah, and then this would be O of n and space of 1, because we just need to create these 2 variables. Let's go ahead and try coding this. So we'll have int cur, I guess that doesn't really matter because it'll be dependent on count. Then we'll go just for int I in nums if 0, cur equals nums I, count plus, we'll do else if cur not equals nums at I. So this would be in the case that, you know, our cur is I'm starting here to be cur is 0, count will get up to 2, and then 1, 2. What happens when we get here? We need to decrease our count. So if cur is not equal to not nums at I, just I. Whoops. If cur not equals I, then we'll say count minus count equals 0. Well, we don't actually need to do that. Just count minus. And then else, this would be if count is not 0 and I equals cur. So we just increase count and we'll just return cur. And let's give that a run. Probably won't work, but maybe. Oh, very cool. Let's try submitting it. And yes, this should be linear. Yep. And this should be O of 1. Yep. So we passed the follow-up there. So thank you for following along. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions for the channel, please leave them in the comments below. And then let's just keep stacking days together. Thank you.